Hello everyone, Dr. Mandell here. If your legs feel heavy, weak, shaky, or tired, you are not alone. Your leg muscles are usually the first to weaken as you age, and the good news is you can turn it around quickly with the right foods. From the moment you take your first step in the morning, your legs begin telling the story of your body's health. And for millions of people, that story begins with a quiet warning, one that creeps in slowly, subtly, and almost invisibly: a wobble in the knee, a hesitation on the stairs, a heaviness that wasn't there last year. Then the truth appears: your legs are weakening, and they're doing it faster than you ever imagined. Scientists have a name for it: sarcopenia, age-related muscle decline. But what most people don't realize is that this decline begins earlier than anyone expects, often as early as your 30s. And the legs, the largest and most relied upon muscles in the body, are the first to feel it, not because you're aging poorly, but because your legs carry the weight of your entire world. Inside every thigh, every calf, every step, your muscles live in a constant cycle of breakdown and repair. But the moment that repair slows even slightly, weakness sets in. The quads shrink by millimeters each year, the hamstrings lose elasticity, and the calves, once powerful engines, start losing fast twitch fibers that help you run, climb, and balance. Research has shown that after the age of 50, people lose about 1% of their leg muscle every year, and strength drops 2 to 3 times faster than muscle size. This means that even if your legs look normal, their internal power is fading far more rapidly than you think. And here's the frightening part: weakness in the legs is not just about muscle, it's a predictor. Studies reveal that declining leg strength is one of the strongest early indicators of reduced mobility later in life. People who struggle to rise from a chair without using their hands aren't just losing muscle, they're losing functional independence. The inability to stand on one leg for 10 seconds is now being studied as a predictor for higher health risks in the years ahead. Your legs aren't just limbs, they're your lifeline. The reason the legs weaken first is hidden deep inside the body's wiring. Your nervous system, which sends lightning fast signals to contract every muscle fiber, becomes less efficient with age. The communication between the nerves and the muscles weakens, and nowhere does this hit harder than the lower body. The nerves that power the legs are long, branching highways, vulnerable to inflammation, nutrient deficiencies, and reduced blood flow. When these pathways slow even slightly, the legs respond with fatigue, trembling, and loss of coordination. Circulation plays an even bigger role than most people realize. Your legs sit far from your heart, relying on steady blood flow to deliver oxygen, minerals, amino acids, and nutrients that keep them strong. If circulation slows, whether from sitting too long, low activity, or everyday aging, your muscles starve. They don't receive enough oxygen, they don't receive enough fuel, and step by step, their strength drains away. But the biggest shock comes from something researchers now call the silent spiral. When your legs weaken, you naturally move less. When you move less, your muscles atrophy faster. When they atrophy faster, your metabolism slows, inflammation rises, and blood sugar becomes harder to regulate. Weak legs don't just limit mobility, they begin a cascade that affects nearly every aspect of health. And this spiral can begin years before someone even notices their strength slipping. Yet, here is where hope enters the story. Your legs may be the first to weaken, but they are also among the fastest to respond to the right support. Muscles are living tissue. They adapt, they rebuild. They grow stronger even after years of decline. Research from exercise physiology laboratories around the world has repeatedly shown that leg muscles remain remarkably responsive to nutrition, movement, and improved circulation, even in older adults. Some studies demonstrate measurable improvements in leg strength in as little as 2 to 4 weeks when the body receives what it needs. And what it needs is surprisingly simple. It needs amino acids to rebuild the fibers that have thinned. It needs minerals like potassium and magnesium to support nerve signals that fire each contraction. It needs antioxidants to reduce inflammation around the joints that bear the body's weight. It needs nitrates, omega-3s, and vitamins to restore blood flow, support recovery, and energize tired tissues. When the body is given these tools consistently, leg muscles begin waking up, first subtly, then noticeably. Suddenly the stairs feel easier, the stride feels lighter, balance improves, and that quiet warning begins to fade. But this isn't just about biology, it's about identity. Strong legs are confidence. They let you stand tall. They let you keep up with your family, your responsibilities, and your passions. They represent independence, the kind of independence that lets you live life on your own terms. Losing leg strength isn't just a physical issue, it's an emotional one. It affects how you move, how you feel, and how you see yourself. The truth is, your legs tell a story long before anything else does. They signal how much energy you have. They reveal the condition of your circulation. They reflect the health of your nervous system. And most importantly, they show whether your body is aging with resilience or surrendering to decline. Every step you take is data. Every moment your legs feel tired or shaky is your body sending a message, one that deserves your attention. But this story doesn't end with weakness. it can end with strength. Scientific research continues to confirm that the lower body is one of the most trainable, recoverable, and resilient systems we have. Even people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s can rebuild leg muscle, improve stability, and restore power when given the right environment to heal and grow. Your legs are waiting for that signal. They are waiting for nourishment. They are waiting for movement. They are waiting for circulation. They are waiting for your attention. Because the real truth is this: your legs weaken first not to scare you, but to call you into action. They are the early warning system designed to protect your future. They alert you before your balance falters, before your mobility declines, before your independence slips away. They're not giving up on you. They are asking you to not give up on them. And when you answer that call, when you give them the nutrients, the exercise, the care, and the consistency they've been waiting for, you begin a transformation. A transformation that doesn't just strengthen your legs, but strengthens your life. Your legs carry you through every moment of your story, and the next chapter begins with a single choice to rebuild the foundation that will carry you forward stronger than before. They say the body never lies, and if you listen closely, it tells you exactly what it needs. When your legs begin to weaken, when climbing the stairs feels heavier than it used to, or when your balance feels just a little less certain, your muscles aren't just tired, they're undernourished. And nutrition, more than almost anything else, determines whether those muscles continue fading or begin rebuilding. Scientists around the world now agree food is not just fuel, it's instruction. It tells your body how to repair, how to grow, how to circulate blood, how to fire nerves, and how to protect the very muscles that keep you moving through your life. And 6 foods in particular have stunned researchers with their ability to support the legs, your largest, hardest working muscles, faster than most people ever realize. It all begins with something so simple yet so misunderstood: spinach. This quiet, leafy vegetable hides one of the most powerful muscle-supporting compounds known in nutrition: dietary nitrates. When you eat spinach, your body converts these natural nitrates into nitric oxide, a gas molecule that opens blood vessels like the widening of a river. In controlled studies, this increased blood flow has allowed leg muscles to contract more efficiently and fatigue more slowly. It's why athletes often consume nitrate-rich greens before training. But you don't need to be an athlete to feel the difference. When oxygen moves more freely into the quads and calves, even everyday movements, standing, walking, lifting, become easier. 1 cup of spinach doesn't just nourish you, it restores power to tissues that have quietly been starving for better circulation. Next comes salmon, a food that has shocked researchers because of just how profoundly it influences inflammation, muscle recovery, and nerve health. Omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA in salmon, have been shown to repair cell membranes and support the very structure of muscle fibers. In one study, older adults who consumed higher levels of omega-3 showed significantly better leg strength and walking speed than those who didn't. These fats also support the nerves that fire each movement. Critical, because leg weakness often starts with failing communication between nerve and muscle. And then there's vitamin D inside the salmon, a nutrient that many people are severely deficient in without even knowing. Low vitamin D levels have been linked to poor balance, weak lower limb muscles, and a higher chance of falls. With each forkful of salmon, you aren't simply eating fish, you're fueling the biochemical systems that determine whether your legs stay stable and responsive. Then there is the humble egg, one of the most nutrient-dense foods on Earth. Every egg contains complete protein packed with all 9 essential amino acids, exactly what the body requires to rebuild the fibers of the thighs, calves, and hips. Muscle repair cannot happen without these amino acids, and research consistently shows that inadequate protein accelerates muscle loss, especially in the legs. Eggs also deliver vitamin B12, which is essential for the nerves that control movement. When B12 is low, people often experience weakness, numbness, or heaviness in their legs. Add to that choline, which supports the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, the very signal that tells muscles to contract, and suddenly you realize an egg isn't just breakfast. It's neurological support, muscular restoration, and biological reinforcement in a single, simple food. Greek yogurt enters the story with another layer of strength. It's rich in protein like eggs, but it offers something more. Calcium. Your leg muscles rely on calcium to contract. Every step you take is powered by calcium ions flowing in and out of muscle cells like tiny electrical switches. Without enough calcium, those switches misfire. That's when you feel weakness, shakiness, or cramping. Greek yogurt delivers that calcium in a highly absorbable form, and its natural probiotics support digestion because a healthy gut improves the absorption of every nutrient your muscles depend on. Research published in sports nutrition journals shows that consuming protein and calcium together improves muscle recovery and supports the bones that stabilize the knee and ankle joints. It's not just yogurt, it's a biological toolkit. Bananas are often underestimated, but anyone who has ever felt a sudden leg cramp knows exactly why they matter. They are loaded with potassium, a mineral that allows muscles to contract and relax smoothly. Without enough potassium, the electrical signals that tell your legs to move become distorted. That's when cramps strike, calves tighten, or muscle spasm without warning. Potassium also balances sodium levels, reducing fluid retention that can make legs feel heavy or swollen. Scientists have even found that low potassium levels can affect how efficiently muscles use stored glycogen, the energy source that powers movement. So every banana is more than a snack, it's a stabilizer and a regulator of the very impulses that make movement possible. And finally, beans and lentils, foods that deliver a combination of nutrients so powerful that many researchers now consider them essential for long-term muscle preservation. They provide plant-based protein to rebuild muscle fibers, magnesium to loosen and relax tight muscles, iron to help red blood cells carry oxygen into the legs where it is needed most, and slow-digesting carbohydrates to give the muscles durable, steady energy throughout the day. Low iron levels alone can leave the legs feeling weak, wobbly, and easily fatigued, even in people who appear healthy. Magnesium deficiency causes stiffness and poor nerve signaling. But 1 cup of beans or lentils creates a cascade of support that fuels the legs hour after hour. What makes these foods so remarkable is not just the science behind each one, but how they work together inside the body. Spinach improves blood flow, salmon reduces inflammation, eggs and yogurt rebuild muscle tissue, bananas stabilize electrical function. Beans and lentils bring oxygen and long-lasting energy. When these foods enter the body consistently, the legs begin to awaken. They contract more easily, they recover more quickly, they tire less often. They feel lighter, stronger, and more stable because every biological system supporting them is finally getting what it needs. But here's the deeper truth. Most people don't lose leg strength because their bodies fail. They lose it because their bodies have been under-supported for far too long. They were never given the nutrients that strong, powerful legs require to thrive. The weakness was never the problem, only the message. And the message is simple. Nourish your muscles, nourish your circulation, nourish your nerves, and your legs will respond. They always do. Inside every step you take and every moment you rise to stand is a biological orchestra waiting to be fueled. These 6 foods are not magic. They are the missing pieces. And once you give your body what it has been missing, the transformation begins, not slowly, but immediately, in ways you can feel with every step you take forward. Every transformation begins with a single choice. Not a massive overhaul, not a dramatic lifestyle change, just one decision that shifts the direction of your entire life. And when it comes to rebuilding the strength in your legs, the choice is simpler than anyone ever expects. It starts with what you put on your plate, because food, unlike anything else, becomes the very tissue that moves you. Every bite you take becomes muscle. Every nutrient becomes energy. Every decision becomes strength or weakness. And the most powerful truth of all is this: when you fuel your body consistently with the right foods at the right times, your legs respond faster than most people ever imagine. Scientists have long known that the human body adapts to rhythm. The circadian clock doesn't just track sleep. It tracks digestion, metabolism, muscle repair, and energy distribution. That means your body responds dramatically to what you eat each day, not occasionally or randomly. Consistency is the hidden force behind muscle repair. When you feed your legs the nutrients they need every single day, even in small amounts, you create a biological momentum, a momentum that compounds like interest, strengthening your lower body step by step, meal by meal. Picture your morning. For many people, breakfast is an afterthought or skipped entirely. But research shows something extraordinary. The body's ability to rebuild muscle is highest in the morning when amino acids are introduced into the system. That means the first meal of the day isn't just breakfast, it's an opportunity to activate muscle repair. When you start the day with protein, rich foods like eggs, Greek yogurt, or lentils blended into a morning dish, you create a surge of essential amino acids in the bloodstream. These amino acids flood into the leg muscles, into the quads, the hamstrings, the calves, where they begin stitching tiny muscle fibers back together that have been worn down from everyday life. Scientists call this muscle protein synthesis, and when it's fueled early, the benefits ripple through the entire day. Then comes lunch. Most people don't realize how dramatically energy levels shift between noon and evening. This is the time when the body needs steady, stable fuel, not sugar crashes, not caffeine spikes, but real sustaining energy. That's where the foods rich in complex carbs and minerals step in. Beans and lentils deliver iron to help oxygen reach the muscles, potassium to support muscle, electrical activity, magnesium to let the muscle fibers glide smoothly, and slow-burning carbohydrates that keep your legs moving with power instead of fatigue. Studies show that even mild iron deficiency can create noticeable leg weakness long before it shows up on a blood test. But the moment the body receives enough iron-rich foods, oxygen delivery improves, and the change can be felt, sometimes within days. Lunch isn't just midday sustenance. It's the critical window where the body refuels the very tissues that hold you upright. When the afternoon hits, most people assume their slump is caused by tiredness or stress. But more often it's blood sugar fluctuations, dehydration, or mineral imbalances. A banana with its natural potassium and carbohydrates acts almost like a reset button. Potassium doesn't just prevent cramps, it stabilizes the electrical impulses that control every muscle contraction in your legs. Without enough potassium, your muscles misfire, they shake, they spasm, they fatigue prematurely. One piece of fruit with the right minerals can restore balance in a way caffeine never could. And when you make this a daily habit, the legs stop suffering those unpredictable dips in strength. Then comes dinner, the final opportunity of the day to support your legs before they go into repair mode overnight. This is where foods like salmon and leafy greens become essential. Omega-3 fatty acids work quietly, reducing inflammation in the tissues that support your knees and hips. They help repair cell membranes inside muscle fibers, strengthening the structural foundation of the legs. Meanwhile, the natural nitrates in greens like spinach increase nitric oxide production, widening blood vessels and improving circulation. Blood flow at night is critical because the body does most of its deep repair while you sleep. When the leg muscles receive oxygen-rich blood before bed, they recover better, faster, and more completely. Nighttime nutrition isn't just about calories. It's about delivering exactly what your legs need to rebuild while the world sleeps. But even more powerful than what these foods do individually is what they do collectively. When you nourish your body consistently, breakfast, lunch, dinner, every day, the body stops operating in survival mode and starts operating in optimization mode. Inconsistent eating confuses the system, but consistent input creates predictable output. And the output is strength, stability, power. Research shows that people who maintain steady, balanced nutrition throughout the day have significantly better muscle mass, better balance, better endurance, and better mobility than those who rely on sporadic or unbalanced eating patterns. Yet the most surprising part of all is how quickly the transformation can begin. Muscles respond to nutrients almost immediately. Blood flow can improve within hours. Energy levels can improve within days. Leg strength can improve within weeks. Not because of anything extreme, but because the body finally has the materials it has been begging for. The truth is, your legs don't weaken overnight. They weaken slowly, subtly, quietly, one skipped meal, one nutrient deficiency, one day of low protein, one day of inadequate circulation at a time. But the opposite is also true. They strengthen exactly the same way, one meal at a time, one day of nourishment, one choice to fuel the body instead of deplete it. Consistency beats intensity every time, and as the days add up, something remarkable begins to happen. The stairs feel easier, the legs feel lighter, the balance feels steadier, the fatigue late in the day fades, you stand a little taller, you move with more confidence. You become more stable, more capable, more alive. This is not coincidence. This is biology responding to the rhythm you created. Most people wait until the legs are already weak before they think about change. But those who choose daily nutritional consistency discover something profound. They realize their legs were never failing them. They were waiting for support, waiting for nourishment, waiting for the consistency that allows them to rebuild. Because the human body is not fragile, it is adaptable, resilient, designed to regenerate when given the right conditions. And your legs, your foundation, your mobility, your independence are ready to renew themselves. Every day you choose the foods that fuel them, you open the door to strength. Every day you nourish them, you reclaim power. Transformation is not dramatic, it is deliberate, it is daily. And when you commit to feeding your legs with the right foods consistently, they respond with the only language they know, strength. I hope this information helps you, your loved ones, and anyone else who can benefit from it. Make it a great day. Many blessings to you and your family.